Hello, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing today on this Motivation Monday? Hope you are doing well. And yes, it is me, Yolande, your relationship style coach. All right, and welcome to Straight Talk with Yo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And tonight we are going to talk about, we're starting a whole new topic this week. But tonight, since it's motivation night, I just want to motivate you ladies out there tonight. And so, yes, I have come out as my authentic self tonight with my crown and glory, my fro. I have missed her. She has been a part of me for many years, and now she is back, and I'm so happy. Anyway, and so with this whole pandemic, I haven't had time or the chance. Hey, Julia, hadn't had chance to cover up the grays and stuff, but you know what? These grays come with a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience. Thank you, Julia. And so I'm rocking me tonight. So I want to encourage you ladies to be you. Be your authentic self, because what else is there to be? Who else is there to be? Right? So I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope that you had a great Monday. You started off motivated, ready to face the challenges of this week, ready to take on life and conquer it. Right? And so tonight, I just want to ask a quick question before I get into my topic. How many of you know women? How many of you know women who, again, I keep on talking about this, but it happens so many times where they're stuck. A relationship has ended and they're just still there. They haven't moved on, right? And you wonder, like, why is it that she keep on, still in that same place? It's been years since she's been divorced. It's been years since that relationship broke up, and she's still there in this place, and you wonder why. And I have, any reasons why? You might think, put it in the chat if you got any reasons why. And so I got pretty much just one main reason I believe that a woman like that is stuck. And that's because she doesn't know that she is free. Think about that. She doesn't know that she is actually free. And when I say that, I mean, I'm going to give the example. For example, it's like a dog that's been in a cage. Or better yet, a dog that has the electric fence. They have that little zapper in their neck. As soon as they get close to the boundaries, they get a little zap, and they run back because it's like, oh, okay. After a while, they learn how far they can go because they know not to cross a certain boundary, because as soon as they do, they're going to get zapped, right? And it's the same thing, with us. Sometimes when we have these relationships that ended, especially if you've been a woman that's been in an abusive relationship, or the relationship has really been a long time, you were married for a long time, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and the relationship ended, the marriage ended, and that's only boundaries that you know. And so, like the dog, after a while, you can even take off that collar, but they're not going to go any further because their minds have already been programmed. I can't go beyond this particular boundary. And so, like us, we are creatures of habit. And so we get used to doing a certain thing, and we stay within those boundaries. And so you are free now. You are free, but yet you still have those boundaries in your mind, and you're not able, this woman, she's not able to move forward. Okay? So tonight I'm going to talk about moving forward. Why is it that we can't move forward? What's stopping you? All right. And I'm just going to share a little bit about me. Now, personally, if you don't mind me sharing, I didn't really have an issue moving forward after. I always believed that, you know what, I just made a bad choice and there was someone else better out there for me. So I think I moved forward a little too fast. you know, um but there were still some things that had a blockage in my mind. So even though I physically was moving forward, you know, even move forward another relationship and stuff, mentally I was still trapped in my mind because I was still looking back at the relationship, and I had all these, you know, the previous marriage, and I had all these questions. I was like this, wondering why this and why that and how come and all these different things. And you know, that went on for a while. So even though I had a relationship, I really couldn't fully commit myself to that relationship. And you know, in addition to that, I knew that wasn't the best one for me. But it took a little while for me to really catch up to the freedom that I had, because I was still locked in my mind in the past. And what finally did it for me, and I've told this story before, but it's amazing how, you know, you those experiences can have so many different applications. You know, when I was there in nursing school and trying to prove to, you know, my ex-husband that I could have done become a nurse because he didn't think that I could have, and I was there trying to prove to him that I could by going to nursing school. And I had an epiphany halfway through, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to prove something to someone who is not in my life anymore, and just moved on with their own life? And so that was my turning point. And after that, I realized I had to do things for me. And then I realized the freedom that I have, that I really can just do what I wanted, you know? And that was the first time I realized, like, wait a minute. Wow. I can really choose for me, not for anyone else, not to please anyone else. It's just for me. So type in, I can choose for me. Say it out loud. I can choose for me. Not anyone else, me. Okay? So, tonight I'm going to cover 3 reasons why some women don't move on. And those 3 are: 1, you are a sympathy hoarder. Number 2, you have grown roots. And number 3, you just have the fear of the unknown. So, sympathy hoarder. Number 1. All right. So you're the person, and I can say these things because I have done all of these. So don't feel bad. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you the truth. Sympathy hoarder. And so you are the person that's like, you've been through the relationship, it was rough, you were treated badly, you were abused, and all these different things, and you came out of it and you survived. You survived. Okay? But for some reason, you have to tell everybody. You keep been telling people like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he did this to me. Why did he do this to me? And you're like telling everybody, and people eventually are like, oh girl, I'm so sorry. Really? That's what happened to you? And he did that, and he said what? And you're like, and you're just sucking it all in. You're like, oh my, and people are like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, I can't believe that. That's just so horrible, and that's so bad. It's terrible that you've been through that. And now, nothing is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Nothing is wrong with telling your story. You know, nothing's wrong with sharing. But where it comes to the point where it becomes habitual, and you're just always seeking that emotion that you get from people, going into that place with you and crying with you and feeling your pain with you, and you rehashing and you reliving the story over and over and over again. That's gonna keep you stuck. There comes a point where you have to let go. Yes, it happened to you. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it was bad. But then what are you doing now? It happened 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you are still trapped in this place. You're still talking about, I can't believe this. This man has moved on. He has had a new family. He has probably died. I don't know what. And you're still wrapped up in this whole thing of gathering sympathy, and keep on like putting out all this energy of poor me, I can't believe this happened to me. It is time to let go. Type it in. It is time to let go. Say it out loud. It is time to let go. Okay? And move on. So put it in the chat. It's time to let go. And so that takes to number 2. You have been in this space of gathering sympathy and hoarding it onto yourself and holding onto it and babying it, that you have been stuck in this one place and you have started to grow roots. You have become planted in this space, which is unhealthy, by the way. You have become planted in this space where you are gathering sympathy, you're feeling sad, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling like life is over, and you're just ruminating over and over and over about the thing that he did, and the thing that he said, and what he didn't do, and what he didn't say, and all these different things. And you know what's happening in the meantime? Life is going on. Because you know what? Time waits for no man. And there you are, time, and you're saying, I want to get married again, I want to have another husband again, but you cannot move on because you are stuck. You have grown roots and you become comfortable in a place where you was just supposed to transition to. Okay? I'm going to say it again. You have grown roots in a place which was only supposed to be a transition period. Okay? And so now you cannot experience the freedom that you have as a result of this divorce. Yes, it was not the ideal situation. Yes, it was not what you wanted. But you know what? It happened. But you also have to realize that you have life again. There is a whole life ahead of you. And if you're stuck in that place where it's safe, where it's comfortable, you start putting up pictures on the wall and you start decorating inside this place, which was only supposed to be a transition period for you, you are missing out on your life. Okay? So say now, it's time to uproot. Type it in the chat. It's time to uproot. It's time to uproot. Time to move out of that transition place and move into that new space. I heard someone say that we always talk about the open doors and the new opportunities and new doors, but in order for us to get to into the new door, we have to close the old door. You can't have one foot in the new door and another foot in the old door. It don't work that way. You got to close the old door and transition into the new space, right? So type in, close the old door. You got to uproot and you got to walk out of that room and close the door behind you so you can step into your new future. Many of you are saying, you know, I have all these dreams, I have all these visions, I have all these different things that I want to do, but you're still stuck in the transition place. You have your couch, you got your favorite, your favorite furniture, you got your TV, you got all this stuff in that transition room. But the transition room was never meant for you to stay there. And moving on to number 3, the reason why you stay there is because you are afraid of the unknown. You are afraid of what is beyond that room. What does that new door in your life represent? What does freedom represent? You're still like that little dog who he sees all the stuff out there, all the other dogs playing, all this other stuff. They removed the color and you want to go, but you're so afraid because you're afraid you're going to get hurt again. You're afraid that life is going to fail you again. You're afraid that you're going to fail again. You're afraid that you're going to mess up. You're afraid of all these different things. It is time to move forward. You cannot live life afraid. You got to, you can be afraid, but use fear to propel you forward. Do not allow fear to paralyze you. Okay? Fear. Fear is causing you to miss out on your life. It is time. You know it's time. You know it's time. Things are happening. Life is moving. Look at we're in 2020. Some of you been out of a relationship for 2, 3, 4 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you're still in that place. You're still gathering sympathy. You're still holding on to all that pain. You're growing deeper roots instead of uprooting and moving out of a transition room. You're still going deeper because it's comfortable, it's safe. You're so afraid of what is out there. And there is so much out there for you. Personal story. I never, ever would have thought I would have been sitting out here talking to you today. And the only reason I am talking to you today is because I had to transition out of that space. If I had stayed in that space, like, I can't believe he did this to me. I can't believe I devoted my life to someone who didn't treat me right. I can't believe that I never got to accomplish. And I felt like, oh my gosh, in my 30s, I felt like, oh my gosh, life is halfway over. What else is there for me to do? If I felt like I wasted all this time. But you know what? The truth is, I realized that time is going to go by anyway. So what are you going to do with it? If you do nothing or if you do something, time is going to go by. You're still going to get older. So what are you going to have to show for the next 10, 15, 20 years of your life? Okay? So we got to move forward. We got to get unstuck. We got to get uprooted. Got to embrace this life that we have. And so for me, once I was able to let go of that, now I was able to move forwards, full speed ahead with my life and accomplish a whole lot of things that I never thought that I would have accomplished, in terms of in my nursing career, becoming a director of nursing and owning property and owning business and all these different things that I never would have imagined doing if I was still in my first relationship, my first marriage, and even shortly after that, if I did not transition out of that space in my head, out of that room in my head, to the freedom, but listen out, the freedom that I was given after that divorce, I got freedom to really have the life that I wanted. So if you can change your perspective and see it was, yes, it wasn't great. Yes, it was bad, but see it as freedom. So type in freedom. I am free. And you are free to choose and have the life that you want. Okay? So this is what I have to share with you tonight. And, I'm really passionate about this because I know as a woman who have been through these things, been through emotionally and psychologically abusive relationship, coming out from that and trying to regain some type of life and make sense of life is not always easy. And to think that, will I ever really feel whole again? Will I ever feel free again? Will I ever feel love again? Will I ever accomplish any of my dreams? These are real things that we feel. These are real things that we experience. And I just want to encourage you that yes, you can, but you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision. And so, I decided to make some choices in my life, even to reach where I am today. I had to get some help to transition me to this space that I can even sit and talk to you today. And sometimes we think that we can do things by ourselves, that we don't really need anyone else. We can power through it. Or, if you're a believer in God, you can faith your way through it. But sometimes we do need help. We are not islands. We need support, because the truth is, if you could have done it by yourself, you would have done it already. True? True or true? Right? So, if you are in that place where you're like, Yolande, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of being in that transition room. I'm tired of, seeking sympathy from people. I'm tired of hoping and wishing and dreaming that my life would be different, and it never is year after year. You want something different. You want to see your dreams. You want to see all the visions that you had. You want to see all the promises that were given to you. You want to see all these things fulfilled in your life. Okay, it's just not enough anymore to talk about them, but you want to experience them. You want to walk in them. Okay, and you want to leave a legacy not only for yourself but for your family. You know what? It's time. And put in the chat, it's time. Say it's time. It's time to move forward. It is time. Type in the chat, it is time. Okay? So if you're ready for that, give me a call. Click book now and schedule a call. You know, this is not just about hearing your business and hearing your stories and everything, because I am interested in those things, but it's not just about that. I really want to help you have that life, because I know what it's like to feel trapped, to feel stuck, to feel like you have so much on the inside to give, but you just have all these roots and all these things blocking you. You can't see the exit sign for the transition room. You know it's there. You want to get out, but you just can't see it. Okay, I know what that is like. So if you're ready to change your life, book a call right now, and we're gonna have a chat so we can work out how you can make those next steps to having the life that you truly desire, to embracing the freedom that you have. Okay? So, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your support. I really pray that you have the life that you desire, that you're able to transition out from that space and step into those new doors of opportunity for your new life and the new freedom that you have. Okay, so thanks again, everyone. Be blessed, and I will see you tomorrow night at 8, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you and having a chat with you. All right, bye.